Of course, it started off small. We were just a few devotees taking trains from town to town in Poland when we first arrived in the early 90s. Actually, 1990. Actually, 1989 was our first year during the communist era. And of course, you couldn't preach openly then. We used to have what were called closed programs, just for the devotees, and then we had open programs where we would invite the non-devotees to come, and the response was overwhelming in those days because, of course, in Poland at that time it was communist, and they didn't have hardly any association with the West, and they didn't have any sense gratification. So when we came along, we were something quite spectacular for them.
What year was that?
89, 90, and then 91, 92, the whole communist regime fell apart in Russia and Eastern Europe, and then we'd already planted some seeds, of course, so we were able to break out into the open. And our festivals, initially indoor festivals, they were, we'd fill the hall, 500, 700, 800 people. And then we came upon the idea of just having the program outside, and it worked from the very start. And to make a long story short, now we have about 2 months, a little over 2 months, part of June, July, and August. We travel with 250, 300 devotees. We do a festival every day, except Mondays, that's our day off. And we average between 5,000 and 10,000 people a day at our festivals.
How do you advertise and promote the festival?
Well, mainly by invitations. We distribute invitations. We'll do anywhere between 5,000 and 10,000 invitations a day. Very colorful, professional. Go on Harinam. We do mainly we're doing the coastal towns along the Baltic Sea coast. So, we do the beaches mainly, the center town with the beach, of the beach town, and put up posters, and we through television, through radio, and internet. We use a lot of internet now. We have our websites, and people know, and also people, after so many years, people are expecting the festival. We have actually people calling our office in Warsaw or going online and contacting our website, and they're asking when the festivals will be along the coast during the summer, and they plan their vacation accordingly. They'll come to the festival specifically. People will pick specific towns to take their vacation in because our festival will be there.
You travel a lot during the year also to preach and raise awareness about the festival tour?
Yeah. Well, with the help of Krishna.com and BTG and other devotee outlets, I think our festival is pretty well known. Also my diary, the Diary of a Traveling Preacher, goes out every couple of weeks or a month. A lot of my traveling is related to our festival tour because I have to raise the funds for it, and I combine that with preaching, of course. So devotees are aware, and I sell the book, Diary of a Traveling Preacher, all the chapters during a year compiled into a volume. Now we're up to volume 7, printed, and I'm writing volume 8. So there seems to be a lot of awareness, and devotees also come from different parts of the world. It's not just Polish devotees. In fact, I think the majority of the devotees on our festival tour are from other countries, interestingly enough. Russia, Ukraine, the Baltics, the Balkans, Europe, Western Europe, America, Australia, China. Last year we brought a very nice dance group from Bali, Balinese dancers. This year we're bringing the Manipur dancers from Manipur, and a couple of groups from India. We're working closely with the Indian Embassy, and the festival is recognized now as a major event in the summer, and it's done very professionally. Prabhupada said one time that we could take the world over with culture, Krishna conscious culture. So we try to present everything very professionally and everything first class and nicely done, sophisticated culture. And if Krishna consciousness is presented like that, culturally and colorfully and festive and joyful, most people are at least curious, if not interested or sincerely looking into Krishna consciousness. That's our experience.
They all get attracted by what they're seeing. It's
Yeah.
just so appealing visually.
Yeah. You know, they may come just out of curiosity. Probably most are coming out of curiosity. Some are looking for something cultural or knowledge. And then, but people have, you know, even people who don't like us, because we have our opposition, especially in Poland. It's a deeply religious country, Catholic. And, you know, of course, many of the people like us. They're Catholic, but others see us as I guess you could say, a threat. So we have a lot of opposition. But even often the opposition will come and their hearts will be melted by what they see. Religion joyfully performed.
What's a typical day like on the festival tour?
Well, the day begins when we go to sleep, actually, because we don't go to sleep until after midnight. We get back from the festival that day and we're in bed by 12:31. We have a morning program at 6 o'clock, full morning program. It's shortened, of course, but we have a Mongol Artik and Tulsi worship and Japa and Guru Puja and Bhagavatam class. Prashadam's around 9. And then the different teams go out. We have a Harinam party of about 120 devotees. They'll go out in buses. We have an advertising team going out, putting up posters, and another group meeting the media and the mayors and official people in the towns. We have a group buying the boga, coming back and cooking. We have to cook breakfast for the devotees, of course, and they have to have a big lunch. And then there's the restaurant at our festival. Every day is a festival, so you have to cook hundreds and hundreds of items for the festival every day. And there's a team that stays back and cleans up. So there's not every moment's engaged. And I usually take the Harinam party out, so we're out for 5-6 hours a day advertising, and then we all meet at the festival grounds. We've got our crews setting up the festival from the early morning hours, and we all assemble at the festival site around 3:30 or 4, have prasadam, and by 5 o'clock the show begins, and the people start coming in on the grounds. We'll do it on the beach, or we'll do it in a soccer field or some town center. We try to get as close to the beach as possible so people can come off the beach and come directly to the festival. But people start walking in around 5:30, and they stay till 10 o'clock at night. 10:30 at night, that's when it finishes. We have 5.5 hours, almost 6 hours of stage presentation. We'll start off with a bhajan, and then we'll have Bharatnatyam or Kathak or Odissi dance. Different groups will perform. We have a Ramayan. We've been doing the same Ramayan for years and years. People never get tired of it. We have a lot of people coming back again with large masks. We got this idea from a Japanese theater where the crowds are so big that people can't see from behind, so they made the masks very large. So we have large masks, full-headed masks for Ram, Sita, Lakshman, Hanuman. Ravana has big, huge masks. And we do a puppet show with large puppets for children, Krishna in Vrindavan. And we have a fashion show showing how, different varnas and different ashrams dress. Sometimes we'll do a wedding, because we have so many devotees on the tour coming every year, so we'll have devotee weddings in public, and that's always a big hit. We have bhajans. I mean, it's packed full. The stage show runs very efficiently. And around the festival site, we have about 17 or 18 different tents, beautiful tents. We're always upgrading the standard of the paraphernalia, so we have beautiful tents depicting different vegetarianism, reincarnation. We have 2 gift shops. We have big questions and answers. We have a tent that sells pancakes. We have a place called Transcendental Fashions, where the guests can come as they wander around the festival grounds. If they pass that tent, the ladies can get put on a sari for free. They just give a little identification. They'll come back later in the day. So they get to wear a sari around the festival. And just next door to that is the face painting. We have devotees who are very artistic, especially the Russian devotees. They'll paint people's faces very beautifully, very artistically. And sometimes you can't tell who's a devotee and who's a guest, because they're all dressed similarly and dancing in the kirtans as well. So it gives a little taste of the spiritual world. Sometimes Prabhupada would refer to the paintings that the devotee artist did. He said they're like windows to the spiritual world. So in a sense, this is also like a window to the spiritual world, but they get to climb through the window, you could say, and enter into the wonderful world of Krishna consciousness and participate. We like to see it as not just a show, but a program that people can participate in by getting an astrological reading, which we dovetail in Krishna consciousness by getting to encourage them to take beads to deal with their karma and get purified in heart, and Bhagavad Gita, and we have a yoga tent where they practice yoga, and of course the restaurant's vegetarian restaurant's very interactive, but also from the stage, at one point we invite all the children onto the stage to chant different songs with us, like children Krishna conscious songs, that we'll get 40, 50, 100 kids on the stage. So it's interactive in this way that people get the experience of what Krishna consciousness is like, not just a show, but an actual experience. Just like in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami mentions how Krishna performed his pastimes here 5,000 years ago. Then when he went back to the spiritual world, he was thinking that he showed the pastimes, but the conditioned souls didn't get the opportunity to participate in the pastimes. So then he thought, now he will come again in Kali Yuga. I'll come as Lord Chaitanya, but this time I'll engage the fallen conditioned souls in my pastimes, enabling them to understand what is this Braj Bhakti, what is this sweet mood of Vrindavan. So that is actually Sankirtan, by chanting. But chanting means more than just chanting Hare Krishna. The Sankirtan movement means all the means by which we propagate our movement, the theaters and the dancing, the singing, the yoga demonstrations, everything we have at our festival, interactive, so they get a taste. And we found that sometimes because people get that Param Drishya Nivartante, they get that interactive experience at our festivals, they follow us around. Last year I met people who'd been to 12 festivals in a row. I said, aren't you getting tired? You come to the same shit. No, they said, no, every time I come it's like something new. So that is Krishna consciousness. It's always fresh, as Prabhupada said, even though we may chant many times, take prasad many times, hear the philosophy, because it's transcendental, it's absolute. It's always fresh, and this is the mood we try to keep at our festivals. In the Brahma Samhita it said that in the spiritual world, all walking is dancing, all talking is singing, and there's a festival every day. So we try to give the people that experience of the spiritual world.
If I or somebody watching wanted to come on the festival tour in Poland, how would we go about it? How much does it cost?
Well, first of all, everyone has to understand it's very intense. It's not like a little like you go to a Janmashtami festival and you kind of watch and then you take some prasad and you see the deities. And on our festival program, anyone who comes becomes part of the crew. Kitchen crew, maintenance crew, setup crew, breakdown crew, driving team, administration, Harinam. And at the festivals also, although everyone has an engagement connected to setting the festival up or running the festival, pretty much everybody also has a role to play during the festival itself. They're selling in the shops, they're performing on the stage, they're doing security. So anyone who is interested would have to understand that it's almost like a transcendental army. It's almost militaristic. We work really hard, and we get the minimum amount of sleep, and it's intense. But I compare it to drinking hot sugar juice. It's burning your lips, but it's so sweet you can't stop. So it's not for everybody. The festival. Like little children, they wouldn't make it. We don't, sometimes families come, but they'll stay in a bungalow nearby or something and participate in some of the events. But generally it's, for devotees who are young and able and can work hard, or older and capable, can also work hard. But, they can contact me on email, Swami, SWAMI at PAMHO, PAMHO.net. Make it simple. They can write to me, and then we'll interview them, see if they can join.
Is there a cost involved? I mean, do people?
We don't charge devotees. We don't pay their way to come over, but anyone who comes, we don't charge anyone for being on the festival because everyone's contributing, everyone's working on the festival. So everyone's invited, but again, we are a little selective. Obviously, we're a little selective, but we always do require new devotees to come and help us. So there are job applications there, but we have to interview them and see what devotees could offer.
How much does it cost to put on the festival tour for the summer?
It costs us hundreds of thousands of dollars actually, because actually it's an all-year effort. I mean, maintaining the vehicles and the trucks and the paraphernalia and the storage and the insurance and etc., then putting on the festivals. Festivals are really an opulence. It's something like cow protection or gurukul. They don't make money per se, although there are sales at the festivals. They wouldn't make enough. Cow protection, gurukul, they're programs that are required in our movement, but they're maintained by donations basically. So our festival programs are like that. We have to collect hundreds of thousands of dollars for each year, and generally that's what I do, because most of the devotees on the tour are, again, from Eastern Europe or Russia, and they're young, so they can't give much donation. So the burden of love falls on me, and that's why I travel 3 or 4 times around the world every year.
You've just come off of a tour of Krishna.com. Any realizations or thoughts?
Well, I think my first impression when I walked in was wow. That's a word everyone uses, the wow experience. I didn't realize how big it was. When I walked in the front door, there were 6 or 7 people behind computers, and that was only the tip of the iceberg. Very impressed with the organization and the outreach, very intelligent, especially through internet. Of course, Krishna.com is internet, but it's obvious that is one of the main preaching angas or arms that we're utilizing now, and all of you are doing an expert job like that. It's well organized, very efficient, and Phalina Parichate, you judge something by the results. You see how many hits you're getting every day and how many people are purchasing items, Krishna conscious items and books, and asking questions and being drawn into Krishna consciousness and visiting our temples. So I think the facts, as they say, the facts speak for themselves. Very successful. Very impressed.
So where are you heading next from here?
Well, I have to finish my trip along the east coast of America, and then I go back to Africa. I'm going to participate in Durban's annual Rath Yatra festival. Then I go up to Kenya, to Kisumu. There's a group of boys run by a devotee orphanage there, and they're called Little Gokul, and they're a band of 8 to 10-year-olds who sing rap music, cute Krishna conscious rap music, and I'm considering bringing them on the Polish tour this year, so I'm going to see if they're ready to come. And then I go to Russia, and then I go to England, and then I come back to Poland, and then I keep traveling. I mean, it's every few days a different place. So. But by July, end of June, I'll be back in Poland, where we all assemble, and we're putting out some new productions this year, some new theaters, some new bhajan groups. We have some new dancers, so we have to practice the stage show for a couple of weeks before we do our first performance in late June, and all then through August. And then generally what I do is attend the big yatra festivals in Ukraine and Russia, which are huge festivals in and of themselves, 4, 6, 8,000 devotees at these festivals, and then to Vrindavan for some transcendental inspiration, taking devotees on parikrama of the Holy Dham. That's generally how my year goes.
Thank you very much for
Thank
this
you.
interview.
Hare Krishna.